Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Lone from NightOwl Central, and we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 4 as the German Reich. And currently, what happened at the end of episode 1 is the Allies declared war against us, Axis. And so we kind of did a double war where they declared war against Denmark, and then we declared war against Yugoslavia. So at the end of the war, Denmark is free, and we gain the Yugoslavian territory. I mean, we're pretty well prepared for it. It's 1940, so they gave us about 4 years to prep for this, which is great. We were able to get quite a few units and set them up. We have a lot of units on our coastline, and we have enough units defending France and lining Yugoslavia as well. So should be good. Our equipment is running a bit low, but it should pick up here in a few. I think it's just kind of being like, whoa, we're in a war, and people are using it up unexpectedly. I don't know what's going on, but should be good. I'll get back to you. All right, so there are like 3 or 4 things that just happened. It was just like, oh man. So the Soviet Union declared war against Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia, and Estonia. These guys right here, they're dead. Okay, but that also is really bad for me because that means that they're going to be bordering me, and I don't like that. But anyway, the Dutch and Belgium both just joined Axis. So that just brought in a bunch of new fronts on the French frontier, and I'm just going to push straight through. Like, straight through. And it's going to be fine. Yak, yak, yak. But yeah. So we're gonna see what happens. There's nothing really changing in Yugoslavia. We've taken some territory here. We've also pushed them forward a little in north here, but besides that, it's just push and tug, push and tug, push and tug, and it's good. They haven't breached anywhere here in the north, so there's no problems there. They're just messing up our trade, which not really much of a problem because now we're building synthetic refineries. We've been building that for like the last 6 months or more, and so that is going to help us out with our oil, and whoa, it's already done. Wow, and our rubber problem. See, yeah, wow. Okay, well, great. That must have just happened. But, yeah, and so we will see what happens. All right, so France capitulated. It was quick. I mean, I think after Belgium joined in, it took them like 2 months, a month, not even. So yeah, France capitulated. Now we just got to worry about doing the borders, defending the borders, and then taking out Yugoslavia, which won't be too bad because Italy has hit them from the sides, and Bulgaria now is a part of Axis, and so they've started attacking. They joined the war finally. But yeah, so that's great. All right, so since France capitulated, Italy has joined Axis and has joined all the wars. Yugoslavia is getting wrecked. Previously, I had thought that Italy was an Axis, but apparently not. And right now, we had quote-unquote free France that pushed in the south of old France. We're just pushing them out right now. There's no worries. Let's get the last of the industrial research finished, or up until the very the quote-unquote last tier. Nationalist Spain still has not wanted to join the faction, but it's because it's recovering from a civil war. So, the Yugoslavian wars, actually, it's going better for us now that Italy is in it. They're helping us out, but we still just don't have the manpower, really, at the moment. We're just trying to produce as many more new recruits as possible. Speaking of that, I'm going to prematurely bring these guys out, and then set them for garrison duty. Boom. And that is because we need to have a garrison in France, because we don't want southern France to constantly get raided by the Allies. And we want to eventually be able to help Italy, or garrison Italy, entirely in order to defend that, and continue on from there, like eventually garrison legendary Romania in the south here. Just defend all of the water barriers. And then we also have to worry about the Soviet Union, because they now own all of Poland and everything like that. So, well, hello, Free France. We just broke Yugoslavia. I found a weak point in their line right here and just came through and took out their capital and just went straight down to the coast. And so we split them in half, and now I'm lining the coast with my offensive force. I'm just going all the way down. I'm going to bring it up to Bulgaria, and I'm letting my allies sort of just pincer them down. Speaking of that, I should probably just add all of them to that. There we go. Oh, and there's a few other things I need to do. There we go. And then who should we get? Division recovery rate? No. No. Division attack plus 10%. I would say yes. Let's get that. Yuck. But yeah, so we've pretty much won in Yugoslavia now. There's really no going back from that. And then after that, it's prepping for the Soviet invasion. They won in Poland, right here. And now they're going after Finland. Oh, and the North Sea Empire is taking out Sweden, so there's really no problem there either. And so after that, it's just taking out Africa, sort of just destroying the Allies one by one, all the while prepping for the Soviet Union, because you know that they're going to be coming. And so just have to hope we're ready by the time they do show up. The Soviet Union just declared war on us. And so with that, we need to send men to the front. And so we shall create more men, produce more men to send to the front. Japan, Italy, and I just signed a triumphant pact. So hopefully Japan will declare war against the Soviet Union. We don't know. Well, Japan and China. Japan is currently winning. They are really kicking butt. So that's good for us now, because we have a pact with them. However, Yugoslavia is Dunskies. Hopefully we can push them out completely, and then we can move our forces over here, these southern forces over here, to defend against the Soviet Union, but we'll see how this goes. So Yugoslavia capitulated completely. Just gonna have to take out the bits and pieces right here, and then we'll be done with them. However, Greece joined allies. So we're gonna have to deal with taking them out. Sweden capitulated as well, so we're good on that side. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of hoping that at this point that we can hold the Soviet Union off until we can get more troops in. And then once we do that, we'll be well off. What has happened is the Soviet Union, they declared war on us, yeah, and they pushed pretty far. They pushed almost all the way to Berlin. This is where we were able to stop them. We sent in the fucking Hitler Youth, right? I mean, we got 2 full armies full of just greenies. All right, well, I mean, these guys are leveling up, but yeah, and we've just been sending them to the front, holding them off. It's been working pretty well. And then what happened was Romania joined in on the war against the Soviets, and I had put 48 divisions here, 2 full armies to go on the border right before I allowed them to join in. That way they won't just get swept under the rug, and they've been doing pretty well. All of our allies are actually here. If you notice, we have 48 units here, but Italy has 108 and Romania has 88. And so pretty excited on how this is going to work out. It stalled their push, thankfully, because they had hundreds of units here, and it stalled them out, which was really good. And they've reverted them back this way, which it could be a bad thing in the long run, but either way, this way, our allies are actually pitching in on the Russian war, whereas up here they weren't at all, because, I mean, it's Germany, and they have Greece and all of their borders to deal with, and so now they'll be able to help out up here. And plus, one of these entire units is all men from Bulgaria, or one of these entire armies is men from Bulgaria. So it's kind of like the allies. It's kind of like our allies, or the rest of Axis is hitting up this border, whereas we hit up this border. We put 2 armies here just so that regardless of how much they push, there will always be at least 2 defensive lines. Just, kind of like if they advance, we will advance with them, but then hold up the line, even if they, use up all of their troops and then the enemy tries to counterattack, we'll be there holding it. And that's what I like. I like to have that there. But we are going to continue on and see what happens. Hopefully we're going to be able to push the Russians a bit farther back, but we'll see. Nationalist Spain just joined Axis, which is wonderful. Yes, which is wonderful. Reason why is because now they can attack Africa. They can just go straight to Africa, and that will be awesome. Yeah, see, they already took Gibraltar. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I mean, we're just holding off the Soviets. I mean, that's pretty much what's happening right now. They're pushing in Romania, which is kind of what I was expecting. Bring you down there. Actually, I'm gonna put 3 of you on the other guy. But yeah, right now we have ideology boosting in all of Switzerland, Turkey, Portugal, Brazil, and the United States. Brazil and the United States, they're at about 40 to 50% apiece. Turkey, Switzerland, and Portugal are all at 50% or more apiece, and those are really good. Switzerland, it's just going to be, okay, all right, it's just going to be more manpower, another nation with core states in the war with us, which is going to be good. It helps. Turkey is going to be, again, more manpower, but it'll be help to attack Greece from another angle to be able to destroy this front down here, as well as to start another front against the Soviet Union. The Soviets will most likely take all of Turkey, just in one huge swoop, but at least they're going to lose men and equipment and whatnot for it. And Portugal is going to, again, it's great to have more manpower from corps, but Portugal is going to help with Africa. They're going to help against the Allies. They will help Spain take Africa, which is going to be great. All right. Well, Spain's not really off to a great start so far, but, yeah, it's okay. They'll be helping us a lot before we know it. So Spain, I don't know, how they decided to do this, but Spain was able to push in here in the north, or not in the north, but east of the front line near Berlin, and because of this push that they did, the Russians had to turn around and push them back, and so we were able to push up forward, and we're still pushing. I don't know where they're going to halt us, but I'm sure they're going to do it sometime soon. I'm hoping to be able to push up to this river right here, but we'll see how it goes. We've also been able to push them back in Romania as well. They had kind of jetted out all the way to these mountains right here, and they're kind of bulging out right here, but we were able to push them back and hold the ground, really. Our war in Greece is actually going poorly, surprisingly. They are pushing us back, but it seems like in all of our areas, it's, well, not in Germany, but in the East, our allies, the major problem is that the supplies can't get to the troops. So hopefully we work out the kinks of that. But things are going well. It's slow and steady, but things are going pretty well. Oh, and the United States decided to justify war against us. So that could be bad. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But if we look over here, right now they have 48% fascism. And it is going up 0.02% every year, or every day. So once they hit 60%, they're going to have a revolution. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But we'll see how the push goes and keep you informed. The United States declared war on us, but when they did that, that allowed us to bring in Japan into the war. Spanish, unfortunately, died off before we could push towards them, but they did allow us to push all the way, to push the communists back quite a bit. We were able to hold the line right here, or push them back to this river right here, and then push them back quite a bit along this edge as well. Prior to the Spanish taking this front right here, they had pushed us along right around here. So it's looking better. Looking better. Here in Romania, it's looking good as well. Again, the war down here with Greece is not looking good at all. But, you know, hopefully our allies will be able to clear it up soon. The United States did declare war against us. However, they are still going up by 0.01%, or no, 0.02% every day. So soon they're going to have a revolution, and I don't know how that's going to affect us. If that's going to take them out of the war and then just have Japan still in it. I don't know. Japan is winning in 3 different spheres right now. They are winning against China because they just took Hong Kong. They're also pushing against the Soviets over here, as you guys can see. And they are also winning down here, taking over islands in the Philippines. It's surprising. Siam joined us because I think the Japanese were able to influence them enough to where they join the Japanese sphere of influence. Yeah. And so they are now in the war, and so they're another country that's bringing on the core manpower. But overall, things are going well. Portugal right now is at 59%. They're about to turn fascist. Then Switzerland is at 52%, and Turkey is at 59% as well. So both Turkey and Portugal are going to turn fascist and join Axis. So that'll be great. Portugal will be able to help us in Africa, and Turkey will be able to help us open up another front against the communists. And the reason why I want to do that is because at this moment in time, we try and push when we can, but there's just so much manpower available for the Soviet Union that you can't really expect to be able to kind of push them back, because they'll just throw them at you. They'll just throw a non-stop amount of manpower. The only thing you can really wait for is for another front to open up in order for you to be able to push and gain some land up there before they're able to reinforce it with troops. And then that also draws away their troops from the other fronts. So you may be able to find weak points and push a little bit by little bit in the other fronts. But all in all, you have to kind of just sit back and let them attack until you see a weakness, until you see a mistake, and then you capitalize on it. I kind of just wanted to throw out an overview of, like, right now this is Axis. So we have Germany, we have Romania, Hungary, we have Denmark, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, Dutch East Indies, Bulgaria, and Spain in Axis. And then we have our allies in the east, which is the Japanese sphere of influence, which is Japan, its client states, and Siam. And then we have the allies. So right now, total, out of all of our allies, we have only lost the Dutch East Indies. Then we go over to the quote-unquote allies, and they have lost Sweden, Yugoslavia, and Free France. Or I guess France proper, and now Free France is the state name of France. They still have the UK, British Raj, British Malaysia, or Malaya. They have the rest of France, so the French city states that are outside. So pretty much it's just Africa in reality. Africa, some of the Middle East, and in Southeast Asia. And then we have Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, Greece, the United States, Philippines, all underneath the Allies. Now we can take them out little bit by little bit. Like, I've shown we took out 3 already. We're going to be taking out Greece here soon. And the rest of them, I mean, the UK, if we can beach, we might be able to take them out, but it takes so long to beach the UK. It's like attacking Japan. But our main concern and our main focus right now is the communists. We're going to be attacking, the Soviets on a consistent level. That's really all we're going to be doing, is just focusing on the Soviet Union and the communists. And right now, all we can do is just, like I said earlier, focus on their mistakes, push on their mistakes, defend, and then open up other battles, or battle lines, I guess I should say. You want to just open up other means for you to gain an advantage over the Soviets, and also open up other defensive lines, because if you have a lot of defensive lines that nobody can get through, and they just keep attacking it, they're going to lose more and more and more and more and more and more manpower in just all these different areas, and it just spreads them thin, which is great. So I mean, right now we have this line, we have the Romanian line, we have the Japanese line, right? So those are 3 different areas that the Soviet Union is getting fucked up in. Soon we're going to have the line in Turkey, which I should begin building an army to reinforce that, but this is going to be the end of the episode, so I'll do that next time. Then we can also, if we are feeling like, we might be able to start influencing Finland after we've done with Turkey and Portugal. That way we can open up this line up here and get a 5th line. But we can also start influencing Mexico as fascist. That might be something we might want to look into. Brazil is at 53% fascism. They're at just about the same as the United States, which is at 51. Let me see if Brazil is increasing on a day-by-day basis. Yep, it is at the same rate as the United States. So that's great. That way, Brazil will turn fascist, which that means that they will most likely take over all of South America and then move on to Africa, which is what we want. We want all of our enemies to their resources to be drawn to other countries, right? Not using up the resources, not using up the manpower of Germany proper. That's the point of collecting all of these allies, is so that our manpower, or our enemies' resources and manpower, are not used on us per se. They're used on our allies. But with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you thought. And stay tuned for episode 3. Thank you.